Right. I always need a bit of a drink before I talk, so apologies for that, especially on a day like this. But don't be scared. It's just water. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird looking water because it's in an aluminum can, looks like a beer. It's a bit scary on the branding. And the thing that makes this water different is that this is a 750 million company that sells water in a can, founded during COVID. It's a company that went from 3 million on the first year during COVID to 50 million the next year. It's a company that sold 3 millions in merchandise yearly since they started. Merchandise that included skateboard with the blood of the legendary skateboard Tony Hawk. This skateboard obviously went sold out in a few hours. And you might think, how the hell is a company that sells water in a can doing so well? Water that you can find just twisting the tap at home. Water that you can go in any shop here in Limassol, anywhere in the world, buying plastic. It's exactly the same water. What makes this company different is that Liquid Death is not a company, it's a brand. So, I'll get some more actually, because it's quite hot. So, what the heck is a brand? You know, you might ask everyone in the room today, or you might go around, you might Google it, you might ask all the industry professionals, and you will get tons of different explanation of what is a brand. No one knows, honestly, no one knows what a brand is. So, let's start by thinking about and understanding what a brand is not. A brand is not your logo. This is a big one. It's not your trademark, not your identity, not your product, not your marketing output. And even if she's always right, it's not what your wife says. Unless she's a customer. You see, a brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization. A gut feeling. An emotion. And you might be thinking, but this is BS, mate. You know, what if I'm selling toilet paper? Why do I need a brand, right? I'm selling something very simple. But the reality is that if you want to sell tons of toilet paper, then you do need a brand, especially nowadays. And actually, there is a brand, which is called Who Gives a Crap, that became a 100 million company by selling toilet paper. Sure, it's beautiful, it's recycled, and actually they donate half of their percent to build toilets in those parts of the world where there aren't toilets. People love it. They love how they talk, they love how they communicate, they love the design, and they did really well. Maybe you're not again convinced, maybe let's try something else. What about life insurance, for example, right? The most boring topic that no one wants to deal with, full of tiny small prints, full of clauses, full of scary contracts. There is a company which is called Dead Happy. Life insurances without the bullshit. Life insurances and dead wishes. What they say is, please die responsibly. They talk about a topic that no one wants to talk about it in a language that everyone wants to talk. They took all those negative elements, they listen to their customers, and they develop a brand that people enjoy to interact with. They're doing really well. No small prints, no bullshit, no complicated contracts. And I invite you to go and read their reviews. There is one particular review of a gentleman that said, this company changed my life because I realized how much more I have to live and I'm going to make the most out of it day by day. That's good branding. You see, these companies, Liquid Death, Dead Happy, and Who Gives a Crap, they understood the most fundamental concept of brand. That you do not own your brand. They do. Your customer owns the brand. Whatever they say, that's your brand. They make it and they break it. So I'm going to need your help on the next one. When you see this, when you see the flag of Italy, tell me a few things that come into your mind immediately. Pete? More, give me more, a few more. Perfect. Exactly. right? So those associations, those experiences, memories, emotions that you have about Italy, that's the brand. The flag is just the visual identity. It's your logo. It identifies that country among all others in the world. But what you remember about it, your emotion that you have with Italy, that's Italy. That's Italy's brand. You see, water used to be boring. Liquid Death took every single element of brand building and they braked it. They have a terrific name, terrific packaging. Their name is Liquid Death because if you don't hydrate, you will die. Their tagline is murder your thirst. They're really out there. They made something so boring as drinking water exciting. They put it in an aluminum can because you can recycle it much more than plastic. And I want to show you their new line of teas. By the way, I'm not affiliated with it. I'll make zero out of this, so that you start not believing me. Green Leafer, their pea flavor tea is called Resting Peach. It's not bad, isn't it? Armless Palmer. So, but also, I want to show you something so you understand further the way that they communicate, the way that they act and they activate their brand.
The plastic bottle. Sadly, most of them never get recycled, largely because plastic is not actually profitable to recycle. So they end up in our landfills and oceans, polluting our planet and killing our sea animals. Yet big companies like Coke and Pepsi continue to produce billions of plastic bottles each year. But why? Our best guess is that they must really, really love plastic, like more than anyone. So maybe they'd love it if we sent them back all of their favorite plastic bottles. Introducing the Loving Homes for Plastic initiative. Starting this Earth Day, go to liquiddeath.com/lovinghomes and grab a 10-pack of cool prepaid postage stickers. Just stick one on an empty bottle and toss it in the mailbox. You can actually mail plastic bottles. You can even mail a coconut.
It's true.
Giving this plastic a loving new home that isn't landfills or oceans. The sea life and planet will be so happy. And you'll be happy too. Loving Homes for Plastic. Making the world a happier place. From Liquid Death.
Right, so they have this pledge, death to plastic, and their marketing strategy is really simple. It's basically what the fuck, right? The founder actually said, what is the dumbest idea and how can we bring it to life? And that's all they're doing. So I'm sure you can spend bloody hours on YouTube looking at these guys. So go and do it because they're terrific. And again, you might say, okay, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying a premium for something I can find on my tab for free. But here's the thing, we are not as logical as we might think we are. The reality is that 95% of purchases we make are emotional. There is a study from Oxford Business School that says that people that have damages in the emotional side of the brain struggle to make purchases. So we are logical, but we buy emotion, and then we go to our wife and justify it logically. It's the flip side. So I'm thinking, if you must buy emotions and brands generate emotion, then it must mean that brands are money, right? It must mean that if you're not building your brand, you're losing money. So another thing that I want you to take away today is experiences, right? So anytime a customer comes into contact with an aspect of your organization, with a touch point, is a great opportunity to form an impression, to form that desired emotion that you want to have on that customer. And I want to tell you a little story. A few months ago, we wanted to go for lunch in a fish tavern here in Limassol, and because in Cyprus not many companies update their working hours on Google, I called the guy. It rings, it rings, it rings, and then on the other line, Ne parakalo. I said, hi there, we want to come for lunch, and I was just checking if you're open. I pick up the phone, didn't I? What do you think? Toot, 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 toot. And I was like, mate, you really don't want my money, isn't it? So not only I was empowered not to go to Dish Feast Taverna, but I was also empowered to talk about it with my friends and with you. So it turns out that a few of us stopped going there. You see, even if it's insignificant, even if it's the most tiny little touch point is important. And another story, I want you to meet this brand. They're called Moxie Hotel. They have created a terrific brand experience. From the time that you walk into the stage, that you walk into the reception, there is no reception. There is a cocktail bar where they give you complimentary drinks. There is a live DJ, the interior design is fantastic, dogs come for free, and it's just a beautiful, terrific hotel. Very nicely designed with great stuff. Sorry, my watch wants something. I've never been to a Moxie Hotel. I love a brand that I never went to. Why? Because a friend of mine told me about it. When we have good, memorable, great brand experience, we talk about it. So we tell others. Moxie will have spent quite a lot of money to convert me into a customer, to find me, to target me, to make me purchase, but they spent zero because they made a friend of mine happy. They created a great brand experience. So this is what I want you to start thinking about it. Don't only focus on performance marketing, PPC, advertisement, buying attention. Also think about generating organic attention. When you only focus on performance marketing, sure, you have quick wins, you have quick money, quick return on investment, it's data-driven, it's easily justifiable to your CEO. He gets it, right? He did business Harvard School, so he gets it. But it's always expensive. It never gets cheaper. And as soon as you stop, people will forget you. But if you start working on your brand experience from day one, you build long-term equity, long-term brand value. It gets cheaper more you do it. Sure, it requires patience, but you build customer advocacy. You build word of mouth. They will talk about you, just like what Moxie did. So here's what you can do to start designing it. List all your possible touch points. There are thousands. List them from 1 to 5. Like 1, the expensive one, the one that will generate less customer engagement, and 5, the one that will generate more. Combine these with your essential name, website, social media, logo, all that kind of stuff. Strategize what is the right emotion that you want to generate. Start designing memorable experience that they can share and they can talk about you. Collect feedback from your customer, improve these experiences so you can have them promoted and share it. Because one good brand experience is worth 1,000 ads. Thank you very much.
Maybe in a bit, thank you. Give me one. So, hello everybody. Thank you for just more and more of you showing up constantly. I have to admit it was one of the nicest speeches I saw today. So you're creating an amazing brand about Factory 39.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
So I'm just going to remind you that the easiest way to ask your questions is through the Slido application. So I will ask a couple of questions and tell people they will be able to jump on with their questions. So you believe that setting up a branding, it's something that you need to start having in mind before you even launch your company, or is it something that later on you can actually implement?
I think there is never stop on brand building. It's something that you do every day, because every interaction with a customer is an opportunity. So you'd have to do it day by day. You get better, you grow it, and I think the earlier you start, the better it is. More brand equity you develop. I work a ton with lots of companies that fail to start at the beginning. They have to rebrand somewhere in the middle of their journey, and I can tell you it's through 2, 3, 4, 5x the expense of actually starting doing it at the beginning.
I think now that you mentioned it about the cost, I've heard it at some point that if you want to fix a mistake at the design stage, is this much expensive. Yeah. If you do it when you're launching it, this much expensive, and when it's actually, so yeah.
100%, that's what Dimitris was saying as well. Like he does things fast but well at the beginning, right? So you don't have to go back with it. Like Liquid Death started going into college parties and just gifting cans.
Okay.
It was free. The CEO on his bicycle was going there and giving cans. That's for free, but he started building the brand.
Of course, yes. So let's grab some of the questions that people have. The first one is, what's the most unexpected brand campaign did work for you from your projects in the last 2-3 years?
Brilliant. It was three of us, three male colleagues or male dudes, as you will say in UK, that work on a menopause brand. I think that was unexpected. I learned a lot. I realized how bad of a child I was when my mom was going through it. We know nothing as men. And the campaign was about not only the woman that go through the menopause, but the whole the ecosystem of support that lacks understanding.
Yes.
Because there is a joke, oh yeah, she's menopausal, leave her.
Yeah.
No,
That's true.
let's understand, let's talk, let's help this person.
Great. And the next question is like, what is the difference between brand experience and customer experience?
I think they're very similar. Brand experience is more about generating an emotion, more about generating something that they can take home and speak with others. You know, people will forget what you do, but they will always remember how you make them feel. Customer experience is more about designing the whole funnel from the first time they became aware of us to when actually they're ready to purchase. So similar but separated.
Isn't customer experience part of actually the brand, of the branding?
We like to define brand as the main entity,
Yes.
right? And then under everything, it helps generate that emotion.
So, Olympia asks, do you believe one using a branding company should upkeep services to encourage a higher success rate?
I'm not sure I understand. Upkeep in what way, sorry?
In which way? Microphone? Oh. He's a true gentleman. I mean,
In terms of obviously creating a brand for a company, and then would you then provide your services in order for them to have a higher success rate? The services you provide for people to understand.
Got it, thanks. Sorry, I'm starting to become a bit sweaty in the brain as well. I think you need someone to teach you how to do it, but a good branding agency will always have the goal of becoming redundant, helping the internal team understand how brand is done so they can do it by themselves. So you help them, and then you should get out of it so they can leave and do it by themselves.
great. So, not question, but you rock.
No,
That's
you rocked
right.
with this heat staying here. Thank you very much.
So, one sec.
The one at the top.
If you had to summarize the steps to rebranding a brand, what would those steps be? Oh, nice.
Start from the brand strategy. Don't start designing shit, like as Dimitri said. Start having a goal. What is your emotional goal that you want to generate? Who are your competitors? What makes you unique? What makes you different? And then you start rebranding. I think it's pretty much like building a house. Stronger the foundation, stronger the upper floors.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank
it
you
was
very much.
amazing.
Thank
it was
you.
great having you. Please give a big round of applause.